You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow. Manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello, Sunshines, and welcome to another episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Shanel Scott. I am your host and your spiritual tour guide on this journey for life. And today we are talking about business intuition. What is it anyways? I have been trained in business intuition for a couple of years now, and it is a session or a skill that I use that the more I use it, the wilder it gets, and I just love it. So I wanted to share about it today because I have permission from a dear friend who I did 2 sessions with over the last 2 weeks, and I wanted to share some of the information that came through and the process because I feel like this is something that not a lot of people know about. So I have a wide background in a lot of different things. My original background is just kind of psychic medium and a Reiki master teacher. And I eventually moved into medical intuition, which was something that I really wanted to learn, but couldn't find a program that really jived with who I am and how I work. As much as I'm a total rule follower, I definitely do not like rules when it comes to intuition and spirituality. I am not big on pomp and circumstance. I am not big on ritual and ceremony necessarily. So I like being able to work really intuitively. I don't want to be stuck following something that's map-based to be able to work because I feel like it restricts the way that my intuition works. And I like to let it flow. I like to let whatever I'm working with take the lead, whether that is my spirit guides, your body, or your business. So when I started doing medical intuition, I learned that my teacher also teaches this amazing skill called business intuition. And when I heard that, I wanted to take it so badly. At that time, she was still teaching it in person, and I never was able to make it work. I was a single mom of three young kids. So it was hard for me to disappear to Guelph for a weekend or two to do trainings. It just wasn't that possible for me. And I think it was 2 full weekends, like Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was a lot. But then the pandemic hit and everything went virtual, and she started teaching courses virtually, and I was like, I'm in. And the funny part is I took business intuition training at a time when it was really not, it shouldn't have fit into my schedule, but it worked. We were actually in the process of moving, and I remember doing the course and just everybody giggling because my background changed so drastically from each time that I took it, because it was 3 weekends. I think it was actually a Friday and a Saturday, no Sunday, just a Friday and a Saturday, 3 times over 3 months. So the first time I had started to pack and that sort of stuff. The second time I had piles of boxes behind me. And the third session, I actually was, I was actually like unpacking my office just so I could simply take the class. But it was so worth it. I loved every second of it. Now, medical intuition, business intuition, it's similar in the fact that we are stepping into channeling the innate intelligence of the business or the body, but it's a little bit different in business intuition versus medical intuition. In medical intuition, in both, we're tracking the information, we're tracking the energy through the system. With the body, it just speaks differently than the business speaks, because the body is talking about the body and the person mostly. It's interesting in business intuition because the business will speak about the person as this separate thing. And even sometimes for me, the business is like, okay, now you need to talk to the body. It's the body's turn. And I will talk to the body to get information and then double back in again. So it's really interesting. The beautiful part about business intuition is it can really get into places that our business brains don't go. This is not business coaching, although it has a similar feel to it. This is not business coaching. I am not a trained business professional. I do not have a degree in business. I am allowing your business to speak for you or to you. I am acting like the closed captioning, just simply verbatim what the business is giving me, I'm giving it to you. A business coach is somebody who has probably a strong business background, maybe a degree in business, multiple degrees in business, and they're actually coaching you on how to run a business. In business intuition, we're allowing the business to have a voice to help us to understand our business better, as well as give us messages about growing products, maybe changing streams, hiring staff. Like, it can give us a ton of information about things that are maybe not as traditional to talk about. So I wanted to share about my sessions with my dear friend, Anita Kaiser. If you have not checked her out, go and check out Anita Kaiser Wellness. I am incredibly grateful for her. We've been friends for quite some time, but we have been working together for about a year or so now. We trade sessions back and forth. I love the work she does. She does coaching for empaths. She really works with the divine energy, goddess energy, finding your feminine flow. And she does this through EFT, emotional freedom technique. It's a tapping. My body has always reacted to tapping really, really well. I've experienced it over like the past 25 years, but working with Anita over the last year or so has really opened up my healing journey to a whole new level and calming my nervous system, because as a single mom of 3 kids, my nervous system was fried. So it's been a really powerful thing to work together. And I'm really super grateful for that. But on to her sessions with me, because that's what this is truly about. So she is going away very shortly to do some traveling. She's still working while she's traveling, but she had a few offers that she is putting out there because she's not taking new clients while she's traveling. She's just working with current clients or clients that she has before she leaves. Just to make things less complicated while she's touring around. She's doing some training, she's doing some traveling, she's doing some mother-daughter time, and I am so excited for her adventures for the next little while. So we've planned a few sessions to kind of get through some of the things that she needs to before her trip, so that we don't really have to do that while she's away. We can just touch base and see how each other's doing and do the friend thing instead. So she needed to get really clear on some of the pieces of her business. Now, to just kind of like disclose how the process works in general, typically with business intuition, when you work with me, long term is what you want to do, because in the long term, you actually get through the healing process, you get through a lot of the pieces that are elevating you to next level. The first session is 2 hours long, and it is 2 hours because we really have to do a deep dive into the business and to understand the business and even the personal things that are coming up that are affecting the business. You and your business are not separate entities. You are one in the same. You cannot disconnect one from the other. And when I hear people say that in the business world, detach, it's impossible. It is possible to detach from emotion to be able to do the work you need to do, but the reality is the personal crap we carry into our business affects our business. If we have no self-worth, then how do we run a business where we have to ask people to pay us for something and have worth? You can see that there can't be a disconnect. They are completely intertwined. In those 2 hours, we do a big understanding of it. We allow the business to talk. Often the body talks, and we get a good understanding of where you are, where you need to go, and what is happening. Yes, you leave with homework, things that you need to do before our next session to up level. And typically sessions are about a month apart so that you can do the work. Sometimes, like Anita and I, this past week, we did 2 sessions close together because it was necessary. It was needed to allow her space, and I'll explain further. But I just really wanted to talk about that initial session. In that initial session, we don't necessarily get very far in what you want to do. I will say that for me, we get hugely far because I actually get to understand your business and what's going on. We can ask some of the big questions. One of the biggest things, which is really interesting, is, are you in alignment with your business? Is your personal purpose and your business purpose in alignment? Because if those 2 things are not in alignment, then you're going to struggle to grow a business because you're not in alignment with it. It is definitely something that it has some shift to it. So it's interesting. We cover a lot in 2.5 hours, but part of it too is just understanding the process for you, because business intuition isn't, like I said, traditional business coaching. I actually tap into the innate intelligence of your business and we channel that information and we have to track it. And sometimes it takes us all over the place, like it did in Anita's session last week. I use colors, I use drawing, I use all sorts of things to track the information and the energy that the business is sharing. And the business has control, so it doesn't always take us where we've asked it to take us. Let's jump forward into Anita's session last week. So last Thursday, Anita and I did a session, and typically we work together for about an hour, hour and a half, because, we have to chat as well in there. So we have to make time for that in that hour and a half. But she came in with some really clear questions. She had 3 one-on-one offerings that she wanted to talk about, naming them and getting clear on them, as well as she had a 3-month course that she will be offering. Sounds lovely. You should go check it out. And she wanted to get clear on what she was offering in that course and a name for that course, as well as kind of like how to put it out there. And I love it. I love when my clients bring their questions to the business, because the business is happy to answer all those things and take you in the direction that you need to go. Straight off the hop, the business took me in a completely different direction. And I was like, where are we going? And I'm really grateful Anita has worked with me long enough to know that sometimes this is what happens, is the business has another agenda that we have to go with, and we'll get to where we need to get to. So she was patient, and it was so interesting. The business actually pushed her to evolve the language she uses and to show up really authentically. And it really prompted some things, because she was talking about this piece of like what we're taught business should look like, what is professional versus how we like to show up. For those of you who are listening on the podcast and not watching the YouTube, I am wearing a hoodie, a t-shirt, I have my hair in a bandana, and I really don't have much makeup on today. Little eyeliner and mascara, and that's it, because it's a makeup-free day in my house. So, does that look professional? For many people, they would say no, but I act professional, and that's what comes through. I also show up authentically, and this is who I am. My office is cold, and I like to wear sweatshirts to stay warm, and I love to tie my hair up in fun bandanas, and this one has Star Wars on it, and yes, I am wearing Mickey Mouse headphones. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a Disney nut, and that's part of who I am. Anita is a hippie through and through, loves to wear tie-dye and funky clothes, and somewhere along the lines, that doesn't fall into the realm of business. And it is always interesting to kind of wrap our brain around some of those things. How is it that we have been taught this thing and this is the way we should be, yet this doesn't feel authentic to us in how we show up. And I thought that was a really powerful thing, because in Anita's work, she helps empaths, business people who have a spiritual flair, to show up fully authentic and in their true self. So this was a really powerful direction that it was taking us in allowing her, or giving her permission, to show up wearing tie-dye. And I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But it's powerful, because I'm sure, like me, Anita feels so much more comfortable as her authentic self in the things that she wants to wear, the things that feel good for her. So I was like, okay, where is this taking us next? Well, then it encouraged her to really use words. Again, it was this piece of what we have been taught is professional. You will probably never see me wearing a suit. And if you do, guaranteed it is going to be bright florals or sequins. It's not going to be a black or a blue or a navy or a dark colored suit. Maybe red, because that's kind of fun. But maybe hot pink, because that's fun. But I'm not going to be wearing a traditional suit, because that's not who I am. So again, it was really encouraging her to use words that she has hesitated to use, because, again, is that professional? And our minds just kept on getting blown as we kept on going through. And by the time we got to the part where we had to talk about the names of the programs and so on and so forth, the business didn't give us names, but it gave her homework to really define some things for her, like, what is divine feminine? What does it mean to be a goddess? And it asked about words that really stood out for her when she talks about the work she does and the programs that she is offering, her one-on-one services, as well as this 3-month program. And I was blown away by where the business took us and how powerful that journey was. Yes, it could have just given us names for the things that she had asked, but instead it took her on a journey that we could even define as a healing journey. But it was an empowering journey of standing up and really being her true self, her authentic self, and tossing out all those things that didn't resonate with her, that she has carried forward in her business for so long, because it has been ingrained in us in so many ways to be professional. So I challenge you to define what professional is for you. Anita is incredibly powerful and incredibly professional to work with, in my definition of professional. If you are a staunch business person, you probably wouldn't work with Anita anyways. But the way she shows up might not be the way that you want your business coach to show up. But it's powerful to understand and to know who we are meant to work with and the people that are in alignment with us or resonate with us. For me, if a business coach showed up in a suit, I think I'd be like, who am I working with here? Because that's not what I resonate with. Instead, I resonate with this beautiful goddess soul that shows up on the other side of my screen and takes me on this incredible healing journey to empower me in my own business. And I hope she feels the same. I'm sure she does. So it was just this wild ride that she would never have gone on if she didn't tap into the energy of her business. Instead, she would have come up with these names that would have worked for what the programs is she was offering, but they would not have been as deep and as connected for her as they would have been had she not taken the time to do this homework. So this is why we did 2 sessions. Thursday, she was like mind blown. She was like, oh my God, this is so much to take in. It is so exciting, but it is so much to take in right now. And it was really challenging her to elevate and up level, which is exactly what she wants to do right now. So her business said, hey, this is what you want to do. You want to scale. You want to grow. You want to do this thing. Well, these are the things that you need to do to get there. And it was so cool to watch the business push her to do that. So what I suggested to Anita, because she had a weekend away planned with some girlfriends, I said, take the information for the weekend. Are you free Monday morning? We'll get together again Monday morning and we can deep dive into this again and allow, some time to pass for you to integrate and to jump into this with kind of fresh energy. So she was gung-ho on Monday morning, and I love it. I love it. So we began to tap into the business again, and she started to give me some of the ideas that she had, and we worked through them together with the business having a say in the thing that she was creating. By the time she got off the phone, she had names for all of her programs, pricings for all of her programs, bonuses to offer out for both the program and the one-on-one. And she had an action plan. She had a list of things that she was going to tackle to be able to do all of these things. Because part of business intuition is the accountability piece. I asked her, when are you launching the 3-month program? When is the deadline? What is your early bird? We hammered out dates, so she had everything in front of her. She was so excited because she had the action that she needed to take. She had the information, and it felt so connected and so powerful for her. Simply because we actually tapped into the business and what it had to share. And the business knows. It knows the things that our clients need. It knows which direction. Excuse me, sneeze. I kept that one in a little bit. Didn't put it out, but that was definitely a release. Sneezing is a release. Burping is a release. Letting things go. So clearly I'm listening because we always get a message, right? It was incredibly powerful. Our business has so much information to share with us. And it really asks us to elevate to a place where we are understanding. It isn't always about making more money or growing. It is about how we serve our life purpose and how we serve our clients better, which in turn creates more flow of abundance and growth in our business. Do you see the shift there? This is so important. It changes our focus from money to service. By simply asking the question differently, we elevate and we shift. When we went into the question about what to call Anita's programs, we wanted something that resonated with the clients that she works with and empowered them and gave them excitement about what she was offering. It wasn't about how to sell it, because that happened when we connected to the things that her clients needed to hear, the things that she wanted her clients to get excited about. So yes, in the long run of things, we created names that were going to sell the program, but we shifted the focus from money to service. Which one do you think carries a higher vibration? Our service to others, our giving, is going to carry a much higher vibration than, and I'm going to use this word, and this is not who I am or Anita is, and I'm just using this word for impact, but the greed that comes along with money. Our focus is never about the financial piece of it, although it is always about the financial piece of it. It's just how we access it. How we access it shifts the answers that we get and actually takes us to a far more empowering place. A place that is so intense, so magical, so incredible. Because we shift the way that we approach it. And yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, It's magical. And yeah, it feels so good to do this work. Because it is not only about creating growth in business, it is about healing our journey and healing the journey of others that are on a path with us. And that doesn't, yes, Anita has a spiritual business, but I have a lot of other clients that have nothing to do with spirituality. Yet, they are spiritual people. They are people with so much friggin' heart and soul, and I love working with them because of the passion they have for the things that they do. It doesn't have to have a spiritual background. You don't have to work with energy or intuition to do this work. Like I said, I have a lot of other clients that don't do anything that is spiritual, yet use this work to elevate, to get ideas that they would have never have come up with necessarily on their own. But their business knew. Their business talked to their passion. Their business elevated them, pushed them, and just helped them to find a passion within their business that helps them to grow and serve every single day. So yeah, maybe I didn't give you a ton of information on the process because it's different with every person. But it always starts with that 2-hour session of deep diving and getting to know each other and to allow your business to really tell us what we need to hear. And then it's about doing the work and reconnecting on a monthly basis to elevate and grow and to continue to do the work. The work that grows the business and brings more financial flow, but more importantly, the work that takes you into your passion so deeply that people are magnetic to you. They can't help but be attracted to what you do. Thank you to Anita for letting me share some of her story because it really helped me to share a little bit of what I do with you. I like I said, I am incredibly grateful for the work that I get to do with Anita. It's hilarious when we get together and do work because we're so connected and connected to the spiritual realm that the stuff that comes out is just wild and it's always so much fun. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the deep healing that happens in the sessions I do with her as well. It's such a joy. So thank you, Anita, for letting me share some of your journeys so that I could share with others the work that I do. If you are interested in learning more about business intuition, just send me a message, shoot me a DM or comment on this. I'm happy to chat with you about what it is that I can offer you, how we can work together. Thank you. Thank you for being here on this spiritual journey with me and taking a listen about the things that give me so much joy and the things that I have so much passion for. I greatly appreciate it. As always, if you can energy exchange with me, I am greatly appreciative. Like, comment, share, leave a review, follow the podcast. I'm so grateful for you and being here on this journey. And I love connecting. So reach out. Thank you. From my heart and soul to yours. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye now.